All right. I just want to talk about my perception and opinion of Packer. Now, I've only watched, say, a couple of hours footage, um, and I'll say 5, 6 hours, sorry, max of footage, and I made an opinion, and I used some footage to get my point across, as he had a good point. Now, every person out there has good and bad points in moments of time as well. Sometimes they have a good point to go against lawyers and the law, even though it's not a good point, but it's just a point to show them what they are and what they do and what they allow. And so I put up clips of Packer and talk about Packer. Now, I believe he was a person that loved money. He's a businessman and he worked hard with his mind to achieve money in his partnerships. And I'm going to pick up that chair in a minute. And with those partnerships, he made money. And to get partnerships to make money, to make yourself great, Packer great, you need to make such deals, right? That's what Packer did. He did in a small scale, just like what America's doing right now. America's saying we want to be great again, which is fine, but they're actually putting it out there, like China putting out there that they want to be the next top America and be independent and off America and offer what America offers, right? And so you got competition there. Doesn't mean they're enemies because of wars or what they believe each other do. They're definitely business competition as well. And so when it comes to Packer, Packer used his brains and his knowledge and his know-how to make money with the system of the law. And then he got shitty because when it comes to the law and rich people making money, they need to invest in things for 10, 20 years, right? And when the law changes all the time, so you invest now, the law says this now, and then you invest something, a little bit like what happened to Holden people here with Holden, right? Holden got $1 billion off the government, said they were going to be good for 10, 20 years, and then they weren't. And the government let it go, and it wasn't there. And the people who invested in it, which was all over the news, you can look it up yourself, about Holden people who put their investments into a car yard, big nice Holden signs, everything, just got it done, and then you find out after putting in hundreds of thousands of dollars investment after the government said that they're going to be there, they're not, right? And so they like to just pass the buck, and that's what I like about Packer, is that he gave it back to them from passing bucks, right? He showed what they are and did deals like they did, and then he also talked about and went down in certain areas of what happens when you go against the law or make deals with the law, which is the government, right? And so making deals with the government is risky, as the government all of a sudden is like a rich kid going, I'm going to change my mind, you know what I mean, Emma? And make a new law, right? And ruin contracts. And governments that change their mind all the time and make new laws all the time, well, rich people or companies probably wouldn't want to go hang out there, would you, Emma? Yeah, definitely like the Paul Holden dude that actually stuck up for his own country, just like the taxpayers did. But the actual people that leadership this country did not stick up for us and just let that money go, like the Voice thing. It doesn't matter, $500,000, billion here. No one gets into trouble for it, right? And they should. No one gets shamed enough for it because they create laws so they don't, which is very sad. And so I wanted to put my opinion out on Packer. Packer was, as far as I'm concerned, he did wrong things. He got into trouble for areas, but the trouble happens because of countries with their laws, which is what he likes to talk about. How could any rich person or people want to make deals in a country that just keeps continually changing their laws? They don't know how to get their shit together. They're like, here people complain about our welfare system settling, that they're constantly changing. They get used to something and something changes again. And it's not usually for the better either, right? It's just because some idiot's in and goes, oh, I better make some changes to look like I'm doing something. That's how I see it, right? Instead of actually doing the right thing or keeping the right things. They just go, boop, 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 done me work. Let's go on holidays, picnics and selfies, right? But anyway, so I thought I'd just talk my opinion about Packer so people don't put me in the wrong area, as people do. When people back up people, they go, oh, you just like them, are you? Or when I even say to people, you're just like this fella. But it doesn't mean you're exactly like them. Just let me keep talking. You're just like this fella that does this. So if you do more just like that fella, you'll be more like that fella. But you're just like this fella, then I want to put an example for, because you do what that fella does, right? So when it comes to Packer, I understand that he pushes for himself, which is, I'll go back to like what America's doing, saying that it's all for them. If you say that too much, or you're going to make a deal and you go, all right, I'm going to make sure the deal's benefit for me, how do you think the other person's going to feel before they even make the deal? How would you feel, Emma? Are you going to get ripped?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Instead of going, we want to be great, but we want to be equal. We want to be, and Trump's going that way in a lot of areas. That he's talking about. But that's how you got to approach it. That you sort of got to show that if you want to connect, that you don't want to dominate them, right? Because that's just stupid. That's like go to make a deal with someone, or you want to buy something and you say you love it. Oh, I love it so much, man. Oh, how much do you want? I'll pay anything for it. You wouldn't want to say that to get a good deal, would you, Emma? No, because the other person's like, well, I'm here to make money. Right, he will pay anything for it. Here we go. This is the buyers we want, wouldn't they, Emma?
Yeah.
I can put what, keep going until he goes, oh, you're pushing it now, right? But that's marketing. But there's certain areas in life and in the government that shouldn't be involved in marketing. It's got to do with the heart, right? And the heart is for the people. But if you get any marketing involved in that, definitely when it comes to religion too, it'll all just collapse, because when it comes from the heart and get things right for the people, marketing is not it, because marketing is to get it right for themselves, and that's the competition out in the market world, right? But if the government gets involved with it, you'll end up losing and the market wins. Is what we see. We see all the governments have lost. The richest people were rich corporations, and they've got all the money too, right? And we play around with 10% of that money. They say all the money, technically just the cash, right? All that cash out there, so that's 10% of the wealth or 1% of the wealth, and that's all we play with most of the time, right? We don't have lots of diamonds and trillions of dollars just sitting there in our products. Our products actually loses wealth, definitely if you buy technology. Every time you buy technology, you're pretty much flushing your money down the toilet, unless that technology can remake that money again for you, right? And you need it to make that money. Otherwise, you're just flushing money when it comes to technology. In a lot of ways, people are too, because how much money they want when it comes to I've got it and you don't, so how much are you willing to pay? But anyway, have a good one, and you let me know in comments what you think of that, and is that a good, honest opinion about people? When it comes to bad people, you shouldn't always look at the bad in people all the time. Definitely if they've been through the punishment, you should at least look at the good in them. Otherwise, you'll always think they're bad and come up with bad things about them into the future, even though most of these people in certain areas like Packer were bad because they were allowed to be bad, right? And they weren't the only one to be blamed of that bad behaviour, and he wanted to show that, and hopefully did show that, besides everyone ganging up and bullying like they mostly do in governments these days. It's more bullying now than from the heart. Have a good one and see you later.